members of the Cash family were joined by the Arkansas congressional delegation, House leaders, and Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders to unveil the statue of the famed
Vecina,
state said
que única que saluda.
Previously, Arkansas
La única que saluda.
featured two figures, but the state legislature opted for an update in 20.
Usted debe decir. Ay, no. No sé. Tensor. Ahora vamos a soltar la caja. Sonera.
ABC News Live, streaming free everywhere.
3, 2, 1. ABC News app and abcnews.com. There's more news straight ahead.
What does it take to be the most watched newscast in America? We are part of that operation. We're approaching the gate. Militants came in from different directions. They're reacting to the building is ready to go. The house is destroyed, but the flag is okay. California, big USA. Great work.
Watch on October on Freeport. Whenever, wherever news breaks, it's so important to always remember that lives are changed. Here in London, in Buffalo, Uvalde, Texas, Edinburgh, Scotland. Reporting from Rolling Fork, Mississippi. Ukrainian refugees here in Warsaw, moving to a small community outside of Mexico City. Getting you behind the stories as they happen.
Stream ABC News Live weeknights wherever you stream your news. Only on ABC News Live.
Did you kill Marietta?
Sorry. No, I did not kill her either.
How did she die?
When the tests came back, I thought, yeah, holy, are you kidding me?
People think she's innocent. I think she's guilty.
Ana Bainas little Miss Again.
Little Miss Innocent.
I know it wasn't me. It wasn't me. It wasn't.
Oh, Underglow.
Why do so many people start their day here?
From ABC News, this is Start Here.
To be in and get a different take on the day's top stories.
A lot of news today, so let's get into it.
Listen now to the Daily News Podcast honored with 4 Edward R. Murrow Awards and see why the New York Times calls it a news podcast worth listening to. Start Here, ABC News. Make it your daily first listen.
Now, that's a part of the story that you didn't see coming.
Wherever you get your podcasts, start here.
This is ABC News Live.
Crushing families.
On the ground in Ukraine.
ABC News Live, America's #1 streaming news. Anytime, anywhere. Streaming 24/7, straight to you for free.
Thank you for making ABC News Live America's
#1 streaming news.
Why some life-saving weight loss drugs cost more in the U.S. Why Senator Bernie Sanders says Americans are being, quote, ripped off. But we begin here with President Biden delivering his final United Nations address as Commander-in-Chief as wars rage in Europe and the Middle East. The president speaking to the UN General Assembly in New York, declaring the U.S. must not retreat from the world. It comes as Israel's military and Hezbollah militants based in Lebanon edge closer to an all-out missile and rocket unit. Hundreds of people have died in Lebanon in recent days, and thousands there have been racing north to escape the fighting. Nearly 1 year since Hamas attacked Israel, sparking a deadly war in Gaza. President Biden today spoke of the need for peace in the region.
Too many on each side of the Israeli-Lebanon border remain displaced. Full-scale war is not in anyone's interest. Even if the situation has escalated, diplomatic solution is still possible. In fact, it remains the only path to lasting security to allow the refugees from both countries to return to the border safely.
Well, a new attack also unfolding in Ukraine today. Officials there say that Russia launched a barrage of missiles and drones hitting a high-rise apartment complex. That strike coinciding with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky's visit to the U.S. this week to shore up support for what he calls his victory plan. President Biden today calling on international community to stand behind Ukraine.
We cannot let up. The world now has another choice to make. Will we sustain our support to help Ukraine win this war?
Of up to 70 miles, and there are several different versions of this weapon, but the ones that will be sent to Ukraine are equipped with cluster munitions, according to this U.S. official. And this, of course, comes as Zelensky is here in the U.S. trying to rally global support. President Biden today at the United Nations saying that the world cannot grow weary, they must maintain their support for Ukraine. So this security aid package to Ukraine coming at a critical moment and ahead of his visit to the White House to meet with both President Biden and Vice President Harris separately.
And Selena, we know also that President Trump is responding to the speeches that were happening at the UN today, even going so far as to suggest that Russia could win the war in Ukraine. What more can you tell us about that?
So said that Ukraine should abandon ambitions to join NATO. So a completely different contrast here, a complete contrast between Biden and Trump on Ukraine.
And we certainly know that the world is watching as we march towards this election. Selena Wang, our thanks to you as always. We turn our attention now to the Middle East directly. Israel today claiming it killed the top Hezbollah commander in Beirut as it expands airstrikes in Lebanon. The IDF saying in a statement that Ibrahim Muhammad Khabisi was the commander of the militant group's missile and rocket array, also alleging that he was responsible for the planning and execution of terrorist plots against Israeli troops and citizens. Now, White House National Security Council spokesperson John Kirby doubling down, saying the administration is urging Israel to avoid, quote, here all war with Hezbollah and all out war with Hezbollah as tensions in the region escalate. Now, Israel so far says it struck 1,600 sites across Lebanon that it believes are being used by Hezbollah. As the Lebanese Health Ministry is claiming now that more than 500 people have been killed and 1,800 wounded as a result of the strikes. The Israeli government says that more than 60,000 people have been displaced from northern Israel, and that happened in the aftermath of October 7th, while the Lebanese foreign minister says that nearly 500,000 people have been displaced in Lebanon in recent weeks. Now, I want to bring in our ABC News foreign correspondent Tom Burge, who's in Tel Aviv for us, along with ABC News National Security. What more do we know about this commander? What kind of blow is it to a group that has already been decimated in recent weeks?
Yeah, Kayla, Israel says that it took out Ibrahim Khabisi in a precision strike in Beirut. They say that Ibrahim Khabisi was effectively one of the key commanders in Hezbollah's missile and rocket division, launching rockets into northern Israel, and was also in the early 2000s involved in the kidnap and killing of Israeli soldiers up on the northern border. So look, I mean, it's another blow to Hezbollah's leadership. It's part of a pattern, and I think, you know, it's hard to keep track of exactly how many senior commanders Israel has taken out in recent days and weeks. And that points, I think, to the major intelligence breach which the IDF has conducted. You know, for a long time, Israel has had a really good handle on Hezbollah in terms of intelligence throughout Lebanon, but clearly that massive attack with those pages packed with explosives exploding in Lebanon in the last few days, I mean, that points towards a massive intelligence failure for Hezbollah I think, you know, Israel is now capitalizing on that, this huge escalation in terms of its aerial bombardment by the Israeli Air Force, targeting sites across Lebanon, and really the expectation is that this is